We all think of physics as this set of unbreakable rules, right? The code that runs the universe. But what if I told you that nature has spent billions of years finding the ultimate cheat codes? That's what we're diving into today, a countdown of 10 incredible organisms that seem to just laugh in the face of reality. Let's do it.
So are those laws really unbreakable? I mean, really. We see them as absolute, sure, but maybe, just maybe, evolution has found some workarounds, some clever loopholes, and that's exactly what we're going to explore. Let's kick off the countdown with the masters of the impossible. All right, kicking off our list at number 10, we've got the largest single living thing on the entire planet by volume, the giant sequoia. But here's the thing. Its incredible size creates a massive problem, a lifelong, never-ending battle against gravity itself. Okay, try to picture this. You have to get water to the top of a 28-story building, but you have no pumps, no electricity. Sounds impossible, right? Well, the giant sequoia does exactly that. Every single day, it pulls thousands of gallons of water from the ground all the way to its highest leaves. It uses this incredible trick of physics called the cohesion tension theory. Basically, water molecules are sticky, so they just pull each other up in one long, unbroken chain through these tiny little tubes in the trunk. It's a totally silent, passive, and frankly brilliant piece of natural engineering.
Coming in hot at number 9, and I mean not literally, we've got a group of organisms that decided to set up shop in places that are, well, they're basically hell on Earth. Let's talk about thermophiles. So these things live near deep-sea hydrothermal vents. We're talking about places where water, superheated by magma, is blasting out at over 400 degrees Celsius. 400! To put that in perspective, the proteins that make you, they'd instantly unravel and just fall apart at that temperature. It's a process called denaturing. But the thermophiles? Their proteins are so incredibly stable, they just don't. They hold it together, completely rewriting the chemical rulebook for what life can withstand. All right, for number 8, we're leaving the crushing depths of the ocean and taking to the skies. Kinda. This is an animal that looked at the rulebook for how to be a fish and decided, meh, I'm good. Meet the flying fish. So when a predator is closing in, this fish doesn't just make a little hop out of the water. Oh no, it glides. And how far are we talking? Up to 400 meters. That's like gliding across 4 football fields, end to end. And it's not slow either. It hits speeds of 70 kilometers an hour. It is a brilliant evolutionary hack that just totally breaks the mold of what a fish is supposed to do. Okay, at number 7, we've got a tiny little guy with a weapon so powerful it literally tears water apart. Seriously, the pistol shrimp uses this bizarre phenomenon in physics to hunt its prey. And that secret weapon is called cavitation. Now, this concept is so cool. Here's the deal. If you move something through a liquid fast enough, like really fast, the pressure around it drops so low that the water itself starts to boil right there on the spot. It forms this little vapor bubble. But the real magic happens when that bubble collapses. It releases a huge amount of energy. And definitely keep that word cavitation in the back of your mind, because it's going to show up again later in our list. And this is where it gets crazy. The pestle shrimp snaps its claws so fast that it creates one of those cavitation bubbles. When that tiny bubble collapses, it lets out a bang of over 200 decibels. That's louder than a jet engine. It's so powerful it can stun or even kill a small fish instantly. This little shrimp literally weaponized a loophole in physics. Amazing. All right, we're at the halfway point, number 6. And this organism, it doesn't just mess with physics. It looks at one of the most fundamental rules of biology. You're born, you live, you die, and just says, nope, not for me. Meet the immortal jellyfish. The way this works is just mind-bending. When the jellyfish gets old or injured or just really stressed out, it doesn't die. Instead, it can hit a biological reset button. It triggers this process that reverts its adult cells all the way back to their baby form, a polyp, and then it just starts its life all over again. It is, for all intents and purposes, immortal. Okay, we are officially in the top 5, and at number 5 is the fastest animal on the planet, period, the peregrine falcon. This bird doesn't just fly, it turns itself into a living missile. And to do that, it has to be an absolute master of aerodynamics and withstand some truly extreme G-forces. Yeah, this chart really drives the point home. Look at that. A cheetah? Yeah, it's fast. A Formula One car? Incredibly fast. But the peregrine falcon in its hunting dive is faster than both. It can hit speeds over 320 kilometers per hour. Its body is just a perfect aerodynamic machine, built to handle forces that would literally tear other animals apart.
All right, at number 4, we have a creature that, let's be honest, you've probably never given a second thought. But when it comes to raw power and physics, the dung beetle is an absolute titan. Pound for pound, it is the strongest animal on Earth, no question.
The scale of its strength is it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. This little beetle can push something that weighs 1,141 times its own body weight. So what does that even mean in human terms? Well, it's like an average person lifting 60 SUVs. 60 of them! It is a level of biomechanical power that just shouldn't be possible.
Here we go, the top 3. And coming in at number 3 is an insect with flight skills so advanced, they seem to completely ignore the principles of aerodynamics as we understand them. The robber fly is an aerial predator that has no equal.
I mean, forget about our most advanced drones. In less time than it takes you to blink, literally, the robber fly can intercept a moving target, pivot on a dime, and completely reverse its direction. The actual physics of how its tiny wings can generate and control lift with that much speed and precision, it's a mystery that engineers are still desperately trying to solve.
And our runner-up at number 2, it's another small crustacean with a huge impact on physics. Remember cavitation? Well, if the pistol shrimp weaponized it, the mantis shrimp perfected it and turned it into an art form of just unbelievable violence.
And this quote you're seeing, that is not an exaggeration. Its little club-like arm accelerates as fast as a bullet fired from a gun. It creates that same cavitation bubble we talked about, but when this bubble collapses, the energy it releases creates a shockwave, a flash of light, and for a fraction of a second, the temperature in that one tiny spot gets nearly as hot as the surface of the sun. This thing literally punches with the power of a tiny star.
And here we are, the number 1 spot on our list of organisms that defy physics. This is a creature that honestly seems like it's from another planet. You might know it by its cute name, the water bear, but a much better name for it would be the indestructible.
And I'm not kidding. Scientists have actually sent these microscopic creatures into orbit, on the outside of a spaceship. They were exposed to the total vacuum and the deadly radiation of outer space. And when they got back to Earth, they were totally fine.
I mean, their toughness is just legendary. You can freeze them to near absolute zero. That's the point where all atoms are supposed to stop moving. You can boil them alive. You can crush them with pressure 6 times greater than the deepest part of the ocean, and they'll be fine. They just go into this state of suspended animation. They call it cryptobiosis, where they basically shut down all of their life processes. And then, when things get better, they just rehydrate and walk away. It's like they don't defy the laws of physics, they just choose to ignore them when it's inconvenient. So that's our list, from trees that fight gravity every second of their lives, to tiny animals that can survive the vacuum of space. It just goes to show you that life is always, always pushing the limits of what we think is possible. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If this is the kind of stuff we've already found here on our own planet, what other impossibilities are out there, just waiting to be discovered? What other rules are being broken that we don't even know exist yet?